Hey guys, how's it going? I'm back with another Wolves Diary. It's been a while. It's been a minute, as the kids say. There's a lawnmower in the background. I don't know. Can you tell? Doesn't matter, does it? Yeah, so how you doing? It's been a while. Been a long time. The Wolves have finished their season. I should have looked up their overall record. You know what? I'll just bring up my internet browser quick here. So, in today's Wolves Diary, I'm going to cap off their season. I'm going to talk about the Pelicans game I went to. It was the final game of the year. It's pretty fun. Okay, let's check it out here. Minnesota Timberwolves. Alright. The Wolves finished their season 29-53. Pretty good for, I thought they were going to win 27, so it's 2 over what I thought. They stayed healthy throughout the majority of the season. That was a good thing. You know, little bit of, Rubio missed a few games there at the beginning. Pekovic, of course, he was out. KG missed the later half of the season, and there was that belly injury after the All-Star break, which was strange. He missed quite a bit of time, and it took him a while to find his rhythm, but at the end of the season, he really turned it on. So, just in case you don't know, this is my Wolves Diary, where I talk about, usually, it was supposed to be a weekly show, but that sort of fell apart pretty quick, where I recap the Timberwolves week. In this case, fucking, 2 months. I don't know, it's been a long time. We started doing a feature prospect profile. I've got 2 prospects I'm going to profile today. And also... show.
With the diesel.
Just a second, I gotta turn off the... Yeah, I'm not very prepared, just wait.
On 2K Sports. Our coverage tonight from Target Center as the Minnesota Timberwolves will be playing against the New Orleans Pelicans. And for New Orleans, they're looking to come out strong and make their mark.
Okay, so I turned off the...
Great opportunity to do just that.
Turned off the
And with some time
TV audio.
Spare, let's talk
Oh, Jesus.
leadership
Now I got
in the NBA.
updates popping off. My computer spazzed out. Pissed me off. I had to take a second. Okay, prospect profiles.
Obviously, the great
Hield and Jamal Murray. I already featured Jaylen Brown, Ben Simmons, Brandon Ingram, and Dragan Bender. So these are 2 more, and these are pretty much the top 6 prospects. I'm going to probably do Henry Elison, or whatever the hell that guy's name is, and maybe Jacob Putelli. I really doubt we get him, but who knows, maybe the new Timberwolves head coach and president of basketball operations, Tom Thibodeau, will find something he likes in him. But yeah, we'll also cover that hiring, which is awesome. Fucking awesome.
What kind of a leader were you, Shaq?
I was vocal. I used to get in people's rack, Ernie.
Yeah.
Did you?
And then I'll tell you what my new features are going to be for the offseason. So let's get into it. Let's start off with the prospect profiles, because that's what I got written down here.
If I kick it out to Kenny, he's gonna knock it down.
Okay.
You know, I would be the first thing.
So, Jamal Murray, 6'5", 201 pounds, 19 years old when the season tips off. He's a combo guard. Pretty much a combo guard. He's not a true point guard, but then again, he had Tyler Ulis. I think that's that Kentucky point guard. They had him handling the ball for most of the season, so he played off the ball for the majority of it. He turns the ball over a lot, which is concerning if you want him to be a ball handler, but he kind of reminds me a lot of Zach LaVine, just a more skilled, less athletic Zach LaVine.
So the Pelicans win the tip.
Okay, so
and the starting lineup for the Pelicans.
Let's see here.
Off guard with Evans at the 3.
His biggest strength is probably his spot-up shooting and his three-point shooting. He shot a really good percentage for Kentucky this season on a high volume. And if you caught my other ones, my other prospect profiles, you will know that one of my biggest desires for this team to fill in the draft or free agency is three-point shooting. So automatically he's already a very intriguing prospect. Blocking? What?
That's his first foul.
He's, yeah, like I said, really good spot-up shooter, good scoring instincts overall. He can drive it into the lane.
If there's any doubt, err on the side of giving the benefit of
He's just not very athletic. Like, he's not gonna thrive on his athletic skills. He's gonna be more like a Kyle. I don't want to say Kyle Korver type, because I think he's a little bit more than Kyle Korver is, but he's probably not as good a shooter.
Chang's got the scoreboard going with
But, you know, think of that. Kyle Korver is not that athletic. He just can really drain it when he takes those shots.
And he uses the glass on the layup.
Yeah, like I said, he played off the ball a lot, so he can play some point, although he's more likely going to try and get ISOs and take his man one-on-one. Or, like I said, spot up behind the three-point line and be like an outlet on pick and rolls, which sounds really good.
The feed to Evans.
His low release point's a little bit of concern. It's pretty low, and he's going to be playing against really good athletes in the NBA. So his shot is probably going to get blocked quite a bit. Like Zach LaVine's release point's so good, it's so high. He jumps up, he rises up, because that's his athleticism.
They just look so much more in sync as a team.
I'm not a big fan of this episode so far, so if this is your first Wolves Diary, maybe check out one of the earlier ones to get a feel for what this is. I'm just doing this to, get the off-season rolling. You know? Anyways, back in with prospect profile. Not very athletic, but he hustles. Like I previously said, all my scouting is pretty much just from Draft Express. I don't watch college basketball. So,
the team's point differential was a lot better.
Come on. Oh, what?
They did have some big wins over quality teams.
But yeah, in the videos I watched, he dives on the floor for balls. He really tries to get after it.
And so he draws the foul on the
He can pass, but tends to look for his own shot. And like I mentioned already, he turned it over quite a bit. Like, there's I read a tweet that there's like the only players who turned it over as much as he did in college.
You know what, Kevin? Over the second half of the year, everything just kind of
freezing
fell
up here.
apart for Drew. He couldn't shake
Was like,
to his lower right leg.
I want to say Deion Waiters
From the bench as his team fought for its
and two other like
Minnesota's going with right now.
notorious people who just sort of shoot it all the time. This video sucks. Sorry.
Checked in for Wiggins.
Boz.
Nope. For Levine.
Not a great defender. Will Tibbs, Layden look past that and, focus more on his scoring and try and unlock some defensive ability by scheme and drills and stuff. I don't know. But yeah, so that's Jamal Murray. I'm thinking that he'd be a pretty good option if we decide to keep the pick.
Prince kicks
Oh, Pekovic, hello. Why are you way out here?
Now here's Muhammad, guarded by Holiday.
Oh, God.
5 on the shot clock. That's good from Payne on the assist by...
Next up, Buddy Hield. Shooting guard, 6'4", 214 pounds, 22 years old.
Just a run of misfortune.
See, this is what happens when I'm looking down at my notes and playing a game. It's just not good.
Turned around from a health.
This video.
For Minnesota.
You know what? I'm not gonna put myself down anymore. If you probably stopped watching anyways. Most people only watch my videos to a certain point and they stop when they realize I'm just some idiot who's babbling on and who has an Elgato. Like I said, I'm gonna stop putting myself down. How about that? Yeah, no more putting myself down, huh?
And stolen by Prince.
Let's go. Let's go. Well, now let's hold it for the last shot.
Now Muhammad. He hasn't scored yet.
Ricky, come here. You gotta handle the ball here.
Rubio outside.
Oh God, this isn't gonna go well.
Gets it off. Got it off in time, but it's no good.
Buddy Hield, really nice shooter scorer, quick release, but it's also kind of a low release too, but I really like how quick he gets that out of his hand. 4-year player who will be older than Cat, Wiggs, and Levine, so he should be able to fit in quickly after the initial adjustments, which should probably take half a season for him to get into the flow, and then it'll, it depends what his conditioning will be like if he can really excel in the later half, because a lot of kids come out of college, they're not really ready for that grind, but I'm sure we'll have them ready to go by the time the season race for running hard practices.
Like you do with one
he's a poor decision maker Poor decision making while handling the ball, so he's not going to be a combo guard. He's almost a true shooting guard, even though he's only 6'4". You know, undersized shooting guard isn't the worst thing, but definitely not a ball handler. According to Draft Express, Hield is lacking fundamentals on D, but has all the tools to be a solid once he nails them down. Enter Mr. Thibodeau. That should, you know, if he has the defensive, if he has the ability for a solid defensive skill set, Tibbs will almost assuredly bring that out of him. Like, you know, it's almost a reverse Jimmy Butler situation where Jimmy Butler wasn't really an offensive player at all when he came into the league. He had more of a solid defensive skill set. Tibbs turned him into a plus defender and also a very viable option on offense.
As the second quarter gets going.
His tournament performance a flash in the pan, or can he sustain that level of play throughout his NBA career? Now, he's not going to be like scoring 30 points a game or anything, you know what I mean? Like,
in the lead.
Was he just on fire, like a Jimmer Fredette or something was during the tournament?
And he was fouled on the way up.
And then he just sort of fizzles out, or will he be able to, you know,
to prevent the layup? But that's exactly
sort of maintain that level of play. Not, you know what I mean.
Back off and give him the layup.
Okay, so yeah, those are my prospect profiles. Right now, I'd probably rank the prospects in order of Brandon Ingram, my first pick, Ben Simmons' second pick. Jamal Murray's probably my third.
The Warriors went on a rampage last year. Knew that Alvin Gentry
fourth. Wait, no, I did Chris Dunn too. Yes, sorry. I also did Chris Dunn. Fourth is probably Chris Dunn. Fifth, Dragan Bender, even though I'm really not sure about that guy. And then sixth would be Buddy Hield.
Just over a minute gone here in the second.
And seven, Jaylen Brown. But I could easily see the Timberwolves taking him just because he's a really solid, like, he's got like a beastly frame. You know, he could be really good if and Tibbs could unlock that. So, you know, any of those 7 prospects I'm interested in, I really doubt that they're going to be taking Dragan Bender, because I don't think Tibbs was going to be interested in a skinny power forward Euro project, but that's just my gut instinct. But yeah, we're locked into a top 6, barring a trade, which I could also see happening. You know, it's very, very interesting offseason for the Wolves.
Really derailed his career. A few years back, he looked like he'd be an absolute star. Once a 22.
Yeah, so any of those 7 players, I'd be happy with. Like, but then again, like I said, I've only looked at Draft Express, so I don't really know. I don't really know anything. This is just what I watched on Draft Express, what I can see fitting into the Wolves.
For Gordon.
Dynamic already with the players that they have. So.
One would think he's still young and talented enough to be a difference.
But the biggest news since
he just has to stay healthy.
Since the off season began for the Wolves was Tom Thibodeau being hired to be our head coach and president of basketball operations, with us also bringing in Scott Layden, former GM of the Utah Jazz, New York Knicks, and assistant GM, I believe, in the Spurs front office for the past 4 years.
Cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one, you're right.
And guys,
Utah, he wasn't GM in Utah.
I mean, they've got to
he
be
was like an
aggressive
assistant
and take some risks
GM too. I don't know.
to see if they can cut that lead
he's
down.
believed to be the one who was a leading voice in drafting John Stockton and Karl Malone. So, that's awesome. But then you look at his New York tenure, and it is not good at all. Not good at all. And you don't really know what he did with the Spurs. But
those could be really important.
You can only hope that that culture sort of rubbed off on him, and that he learned a thing or two about team building and how it takes to what it takes to run a successful organization. Like, if he can bring any of that knowledge to the Wolves, it would be an amazing, amazing hire.
Here's Levine.
Oh, Levine going around Anthony Davis. But Thibodeau. Oh my God, Thibodeau. Oh my God, it's Tom Thibodeau. My dream hire for the Wolves has come to fruition. Can you believe it? We've got Tom Thibodeau coaching the Timberwolves. Now, people say, he ran Derrick Rose, Luol Deng, Joakim Noah into the ground. That
during his NBA career,
his 2-hour practices are just draining on players, and that we better be careful about Cat and Wiggins, otherwise we're gonna, be one of those franchises who's on the tipping point towards success, and we just sort of fall backwards because we run our young players into the ground. But if Tom Thibodeau learned from his lessons and doesn't play Wiggins more than 40 minutes a game and Cat more than 40 minutes a game, limit those guys' minutes, try and really pick up Shabazz's play on defense, Gorgie's play on defense, turn Tyus into like one of his Aaron Brooks, DJ Augustine, Nate Robinson type of players. There's my phone.
Nikola Pekovic is checked in for Gorgie Deng. Prince comes in for Shabazz Muhammad. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Levine.
That's awesome. If he has a bench that he can trust, he shouldn't need to play those starters that much. And now he has the power to bring in the players he wants on his bench. Like, his bench in Chicago was never very good. He always had a really good starting five, but his bench, like Taj Gibson, was awesome. I think he had Kyle Korver for a little bit, but he left soon after. Oh, and then
shot clock at 6. First shot, first basket.
Who else did he have on his bench? He had like Mike Dunleavy.
Timberwolves lead
not stellar benches. Look at that! I got my free hardline robbery installed.
The pass to Prince.
Let's get Peck in the post here. There we go.
The basket, his second of 2 attempts.
So I'm hoping now that he has the power for roster control, that he'll stack the deck and make a really solid second unit that he can rely on, so that he doesn't have to play his starters so much. That said, he also turned he turned players' careers around. He turned Joakim Noah into a borderline all-star. He turned Taj Gibson into an amazing role player. He, I already mentioned what he did with Jimmy Butler. Oh my God, Wiggins is such a better finisher than this.
You can see he just rushed that a little bit. Lost the focus, I think.
A nice shot.
Just imagine and then Joakim Noah, like,
Got him a little nod.
Cat is Joakim Noah on steroids. I cannot foresee any sort of world where Cat doesn't excel, like, I mean, he was already going to be an MVP in his career, I'm almost positive of it. And now that's going to fast track. And I would not be surprised if Cat made the All-Star game next year and made more like third-team All-NBA. I would not be surprised if that happened with Thibodeau. Like, he almost made, well, not almost, but there was whispers of him making third-team All-NBA just this year alone. So, it's going to be so good. And then Wiggins is going to be so good, too. Oh, my God, I'm so excited for this.
Yes, guys.
There's a little bit of concern in my mind about him running the players into the ground, but I'm just so happy.
When you come out to play the second half.
And then there's one other little news note that's not really noteworthy per se, but I just wanted to bring it up. KG was interviewed by someone, and he was talking about loyalty, and if he was going to come back and play another year, he has to determine if the loyalty he's shown to Minnesota is going to be returned in kind to him this offseason. Like, I don't know what that meant. It could have meant, is Glenn Taylor going to sell the team? Did they not give Sam Mitchell enough of a chance to retain his job? Is that what he means about loyalty? Does he mean, like, are we going to rip up the roster and start over? Like, I don't know what he means. It's kind of concerning. KG isn't a vital part of our roster at all. At this point, but would be a really nice presence to have around next year, because he won a championship with Tibbs in Boston. You gotta believe that relationship's there already.
Think about what we saw from Minnesota.
Well, the shots were dropping.
And Joakim Noah is a prime candidate to come to the Wolves this offseason. Like, I seriously believe we'll probably have Luol Deng or Joakim Noah by the beginning of next season. I'd be surprised if they weren't on the team. Like, I'm sure like Kirk Heinrich is probably going to come over. I'm sure Tibbs is going to try and get a few of his old players. Hopefully he doesn't try to just, get everyone. Like, there's whispers of Jimmy Butler trade coming for the 5th pick.
If you put pressure on the ball and more,
I just hope Tibbs doesn't
That's going to establish more
break up Levine,
that might shut him down.
Wiggs, and Cat. And Rubio. Even Rubio, like, I think Rubio would be really good with Thibodeau, even though
See you after the game.
Thibodeau supposedly runs this offense where he sort of takes the ball out of his point guard's hands. And, you know, Ricky is obviously at his peak value when he has the ball in his hand and he's sort of running the show.
And the second half about to start.
I don't know. Yeah, KG remarks about loyalty was kind of a question mark to me. So, my last game of the season that I remember vividly was the Pelicans game, the final game of the season, because I was there. The Wolves hung, I think, 144 points on the Pelicans. The Pelicans were a fucking embarrassment. They were like a skeleton crew. Omer Asik had a great game. He had like over 20 points. He was like their only bright spot. I don't think Tyreek Evans played. Drew Holiday didn't play. Anthony Davis didn't play. It was a very, very thin roster. Ryan Anderson didn't play. It was bad. But it was really good for the Wolves because Cat looked awesome. Like, oh my God, that was such a good Cat game. He got a steal. He took it coast to coast behind his back. Ah, so good. Wiggins had a good game. Shabazz had a good game. Tyus had a good game. Levine had a pretty decent game. It was just all around a really fun time. Yeah, I got 2 Gorgie Jang bobbleheads since my girlfriend came. We got like 3 yearbooks. I bought a Levine jersey. We got... What else did we get? I don't know. It was a really fun time. Yeah, I'm really... They finished the season on a high note for sure. Like, it's a bummer what they did with Sam Mitchell. Like, immediately after the game, he was let go, and that they announced that they were starting a search for the new head coach using a search agency or using a... What was the word?
Like he has.
I don't know. It was like they hired an agency to sort of vet all the other coaches for the position. And Korn Ferry was the name of the organization, and they went over Mark Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy, Tom Thibodeau, and Scotty Brooks, I believe. And good for Glenn Taylor. He found his man quick, and he got the deal done.
Easy chances inside.
And you know, guys, it's really amazing just how quickly.
Oh God, there's a big storm coming. I just saw a lightning strike, and
by age 20,
I can't see the bluffs on the other side of the
player in the game.
On my window. You can almost always see them, so that means some serious rain's about to head my way. Anyways,
from Cleveland State to play point guard.
And Rubio kicks to Levine. There's the 3.
Oh.
Evans with the rebound.
Anyways, the playoffs are happening right now.
I think it may have surprised.
The Pacers just got eliminated by the Raptors, which sucks. God damn, I was hoping the Raptors would lose. The Miami Heat beat the Hornets in Game 6, which was an insane game, and I was really hoping the Hornets would win.
The drive by Rubio.
And now it's second round of the playoffs.
Here's Levine.
Yeah, second round of the playoffs. The matchups are Toronto versus Miami, Cleveland versus Atlanta, Golden State versus Portland, because the Clippers lost again. Tear that team up. And
as the teams head into this time,
San Antonio versus Oklahoma City, which was an awesome game. Game 2 was awesome. I missed most of it. I saw a little bit of it, but from everything I read, sounded completely bonkers.
We're down later in the game.
Absolutely.
Out of all those teams, I gotta say I'm probably rooting for, like, I know Portland doesn't stand a chance to beat Golden State. I know that the Hawks are probably a long shot to beat the Heat, to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, even though they played them really tough in Game 1. So, out of all those teams, out of those other 2 series, I'd like to see San Antonio sort of clear house in Oklahoma City relatively quickly, like 5-6 games. 6 games isn't quick, but you know what I mean. And between Miami and Toronto, I just do not like that Toronto squad. I don't never like Miami. I like the big 3 Miami team. I know it's not a popular opinion, but it was really fun to me.
It's deflected. It's stolen by Davis.
So I'm actually going for Miami. Like, Dwayne Wade's awesome and everything. I just don't like him. I don't like watching him play.
Minnesota with the rebound. Towns has got 3 rebounds now in this one.
But yeah, I think a Miami-Cleveland conference final would be fun, even though I think Miami would get their ass kicked.
And Kevin, you look at their record against other players.
And who doesn't want to see? Like, I will stay up and watch those San Antonio and Jesus, I will watch those San Antonio and Golden State games, no matter how late they're on. That's going to be such a good series. And then for the finals,
he feeds it to Evans.
If Curry's not back by the time for that Golden State series, I gotta say that San Antonio will probably make it to face the Cavaliers, and
just over 3.5 minutes through the third.
I'm pretty sure San Antonio would win, but I think Cavaliers stand a better chance against the Spurs than they do against the Warriors. Just my gut opinion. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, that's right, bitch. That's right, bitch. That's right, bitch. Other than that, I'm gonna be doing a roster review for the season. Hopefully. I would really like to do this at least every other week, if not every week from now on out. From here on out, I'm gonna try and force myself to. I just got lazy. Like, I'm a lazy person. Don't put yourself down. Yeah, and I'll do a roster review, sort of go over the numbers for each of the players this year, what their splits were from the year before, like how much better did they get at points per game, how much worse than they get at rebounds, and I'm sure by the next episode I'll get to announce that Cat won Rookie of the Year. I'll look at his season. It's just gonna be pretty fun, and I'll probably do, like I said, a couple more prospect profiles, and maybe outline some free agency moves that we could possibly make. Like, I'll go over the free agent pool, see who we can pluck, and sort of list potential trades for that 5 pick.
Here's a Jinsa.
Should be fun. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here. You guys don't care who wins this game, do you?
We get going in the 4th for the Pelicans.
And
here is Ruby.
Yeah. Got another one in the books. Not a great episode. It was a fine episode. It was a fine episode, right? Just tell me it was okay. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
The lead up to 11 now for the Timberwolves.